Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, August 29th, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. In business, they say success is the easiest when you first start out, because that's where your competition is the weakest. But when you get close to the top, that, boys and girls, is where the lions live. But believe me when I tell you this, men's physique all-star Ray Edmunds is as ferocious as they come. This is a huge year for Ray because I know a lot of people who think that he has the potential to be damn near unbeatable if he's on. But until he can conquer the mountain that is Brandon Hendrickson right now, it's tough to put him in the same bracket as the other greats from his generation. We've talked about all the storylines and question marks heading into Olympia weekend for weeks now. But as of today, it looks like we can officially cross one of those off the board. And in case you haven't heard, last weekend, Greene decided to hop off the fence and make a decision about whether or not we'd see him on stage this year, which, as it turns out, is a definitive no. Truth be told, even though we all love the idea of Kai riding in like the Dark Knight to swoop in and steal the victory this year, from a legendary standpoint, I actually think he has more to lose than he did to gain. And at this point, Kai is a living legend who's established himself as a real successful brand and entertainer outside of bodybuilding. And when you already have that stuff working in your favor, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense to start making decisions that have the potential to move you out of that lane. So we've established that Kai is out of the equation in the men's open. Now let's move on to the 212 division, where it feels like Derek Lunsford is starting to separate himself from the pack. The photos and videos that we've seen coming from Derek and his team are getting more ridiculous by the week. Now, with the way that this year's gone so far, it does feel like literally anything can happen at any moment. But I will say this, if everything does manage to hold serve, Derek seems like he's in a pole position from where I'm sitting right now. I know all of you NFL fans out there are geeked out about the start of the regular season, but one of my favorite football weekends of the year is always the wild card weekend, because it's where you find out if teams are really who you think they were. And if I forecast ahead another week or two, what's about to happen in the classic physique division, it feels like David Hoffman might be about to make a statement. Hoff's been basically off the radar in the division for the better part of the season, up until the start of his Olympia prep. But this looks and feels like a different version of Hoff that I haven't seen before. All across the board, from conditioning to density, it seems like he's set to bring in something noteworthy. And if some of the shuffling that I'm expecting to see this year happens, I think a top 5 or 6 finish is definitely within striking distance. Sometimes having the focus directed away from you can take a lot of pressure off an athlete. And with most of the attention focused on what's going on with Sydney Gillen and LaToya Watts in the figure division right now, it seems like it's taking a lot of pressure off of athletes like Ivana Ivusic to come in and deliver the goods. Ivana's camp's been releasing a few updates here and there that seem to be hinting that she's on pace to deliver her all-time best, which should put her in a position to come in and crack the top 5 this year. Last season, she was right there knocking on the door. But if she shows up the way I'm being told she will, this time around, she's kicking that bad boy open. And once she gets in from there, all bets are off. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.